All right, let's get started. I have a special guest here today, a very good friend of ours and a coworker of mine, Juan Arias, who's been running the relief program here at Taylor Massapequa. And we're just going to be diving in and asking him some questions in regards to about the program, how it got started, and where it's headed, and all the things necessary. So let's jump right in. Juan, how are you, sir?
Awesome. And yourself?
I'm doing phenomenal, man. I love having you part of the team. Love having you here. Everything that you brought to the table. I just got a couple of things that I wanted to ask you, and for our audience, especially because what we're doing here is somewhat different, but very familiar to some people. But we want to dive in and ask a couple of questions to kind of give people an insight on what it is that we do here as far as what is the relief program. I know people have probably seen on your page the idea of what a relief program is. So if you can kind of give us an idea of what it is.
Well, I'm glad you asked. Well, pretty much, as we know, a lot of people purchased vehicles during the pandemic and after the pandemic. So a lot of people overpay for the vehicles.
Okay.
Interest rate high. So right now with inflation, a lot of people are struggling. So this is pretty much targeting those customers that have a hardship and have it struggling paying their vehicle. Or, they just want to lower the interest rate and get into a brand new car, similar payments or lower payments. Pretty much that's our mindset. Try to help out all our customers that come here with some sort of problems and service.
Okay. So it's more of a service program?
Exactly.
Okay.
Pretty much we work out of service. Most of the people that come in, that's what that we target in service.
Gotcha.
People that have had interest, people having problem with, let's say, the vehicle breakdown and they cannot fix it. That's where we come in.
So that's what the program is. Just to kind of dig a little deeper, I think. What's your background? How did you get started? For those people that don't know.
Well, we've been doing this over 15 years right now. We started.
Wow, time flies.
Yeah,
Yes, 15 years.
we started working together in the used car lot. Pretty much, climbed the ladder real quick. Started selling vehicle and went into management position. Became a finance manager. Then started doing a finance slash manager and service, helping people with the same, just different approach, customer first approach. That's what I'm out of right now.
Okay.
That's pretty much it. I mean, pretty much over 15 years.
15 years of automotive experience,
Yeah.
you would say.
And the people business.
For people that don't know, automotive industry, and if you can agree on this or not, is probably one of the most interesting industries because it's ever changing. However, it's probably the only industry, in my opinion, that has yet to be penetrated by AI or technology to the point where other industries have been disrupted. Where do you think that those things play a role in our industry as far as helping us advance in the future?
I believe that obviously AI is going to help out in a lot of circumstances. Like I think by gathering data, information. One of the main concern of people is the time they spend on the dealership.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, we believe that you need a human touch. I think what is AI is going to come down to it is gathering all the information, prepare everything for the customer, save the customer 2 to 3 hours in the dealership. This is what I believe is going to happen. People are just going to come in, sign, and leave with a new vehicle.
I mean, so do you think it kind of takes away from the traditional selling concepts?
I don't think that ever is going to go away.
Okay.
I really believe that, unfortunately for us, in this business, for some reason, people like the back and forth. People want to get the best deal possible.
Okay.
And the experience, I think that's the main thing.
So you think like the model that like a lot of companies that had adapted to, like Tesla, for example. I know we had Saturn in the past and Scion. They tried this one sale price and non-friction pricing. They kind of disappeared. Do you feel like the consumer is somewhat gravitating towards that or is adapting at least?
It is adapting to that.
Okay.
I just don't think it's going to be full force come AI or online buying because we still have a big influence of my parents, your parents, that is still purchase a vehicle. I'm still purchasing the way my parents purchased.
Gotcha.
Obviously, I do my research online. and that's for the most part customers. They do the research and then they come and have to touch and
Gotcha.
negotiate. I mean, obviously, like I said, there's going to be a lot of information gathering, a lot of people, a lot of the process is going to be able to be done online over the phone. But in the end, before you pick up what you want, you're going to have to touch that.
So at least in your case, because you're working majority of the clients through service, they aren't necessarily buying vehicles or looking for a vehicle. So your niche is somewhat different, in my opinion, because you're approaching them because they're in a need. I am, if I'm correct.
100%, but something that benefit the customer that we also have a need for the most part. We're looking for vehicle so we could sell in the used car lot. So it's a win-win situation for the
Okay,
customer.
that's a great concept to look
You
at.
know, exactly. So pretty much for us, let's say you have a lease, and when you return the lease, that lease go into an auction from the bank. That
Okay,
vehicle will belong to the bank. For us to get a hold of that car, we have to bid against other dealers.
gotcha.
So it's in our best interest for us to grab that deal, that car before it goes to auction. We save about, I would say, between $1,200 to $1,800 doing it that way, and that saving we pass it on to the customer.
So it makes it easier for us to be able to facilitate a deal.
100%.
Okay.
Mhm.
The other question that I had with you, and this is more for the audience to understand, is clients that are coming into service with an issue on their vehicle. What is the steps that you take to help them or assist them in getting out of their vehicle and into a new vehicle?
For the most part, what we do, obviously, we got to check the payoff of the vehicle. We also check the condition of the vehicle. For the most part, let's say the car has some sort of mechanical breakdown or some sort of we have to fix something. We take that in consideration. Obviously, while we're doing the appraisal, we give the customer the top on it. For the most part, we absorb the bill if the customer goes into the brand new
Oh, so the
car.
customer doesn't pay the bill.
I would say 90.9%. The
Really?
customer buy the vehicle. With us, we absorb the bill.
Because had that vehicle been at an auction, you would have been paying an extra 1,500,
Exactly.
1,800, so you're absorbing it up
That's
front.
exactly.
So the customer gets to upgrade their vehicle, and you're absorbing their current bill. And in most cases, what would you say is an average bill on an average client?
It depends, but I would say an average $1,700. We go from $300 bill to $7,000 bill, which we do all the time.
Got you. So, in your case, which client do you think is more gravitating towards getting out of their vehicle? A person with a higher bill, or somewhere in the middle, or the lower end? Or have you not seen that trend yet?
Yeah. For the most part, it's the person with the lower bill. I mean, we hardly. I mean, it's not we hardly we see those customers often, but that $7,000 bill is not very common all the time in our service department. But they come once, twice a week, maybe more.
Now, are you saying that these bills are things that are not covered under warranty, or these are older vehicles? How does this work?
Over the vehicle that is not covered by warranty. People realize how important it is to have a warranty on a
Really?
vehicle when they're in service.
Because I mean that what I've been taught is ownership of a vehicle is not just the price of the car, but true cost of ownership includes maintenance, insurance,
Exactly.
breakdowns, and all and such. So you factor that into your approach when you're meeting with clients.
100%.
Gotcha. The other thing I wanted to ask, and I think it's pretty interesting, I think it's a new concept that I think that you've brought apart, especially after everything that consumers have gone through after pandemic, paying high rates of interest, paying a premium for the vehicles in the last few years. I'm sure there's some challenges that you face right now. Can you talk some about those challenges that you face in getting those people out with high rates and that overpaid for their cars with negative equity and stuff?
Yeah,
What's some of the approaches you've taken?
100%. We deal with that every day. Every single, I would say 90% of transaction, that's what we have to deal with. But we have the experience.
Hmm.
We also have great relationship with the bank, and we have the vehicles that we need. For example, we have some of the vehicles that have great incentive, which could some of the cars could discount up to $17,000. We got
17,000.
$17,000 discount. If
Okay.
you bought a car that right now for whatever reason, because you're working in the vehicle, your credit has got a hit because you're struggling for the most part. We have such a great relationship with the bank that for the most part we could show the bank that we try to helping out our customer. The bank is willing for the most part is willing to help us out and make an exception and give that customer approval. Sometimes when I would say 75% of the time they don't qualify for.
Gotcha. So let's say for a client that necessarily isn't in service, but brings their vehicle for regular scheduled maintenances, wants to maybe get an answer or quote on maybe upgrading there. Are you also offering it to those people that just want to upgrade and want to reach out to you? How can they go about reaching out to you?
Yeah, 100%. One of the things we do, and our motto is we try to get you similar payments or lower payments.
Okay.
If you're not in a distress situation, you want to get into a brand new car, that's what we try to do. Try to get you in a brand new car, similar payments, lower payments. No
So
hassle.
you're saying I can get out of my 2022 current vehicle and upgrade to a 2025 possibly and keep my payment similar or
Yes.
maybe even pay less depending on the
Yes.
circumstances?
Many times customers pay less. For the most
Really?
part, yeah.
I mean, that's a no-brainer in my opinion. And if somebody's coming in and asking about it, again, I obviously I'm not as involved per transaction basis. So the reason why I'm asking these questions is because it's genuinely my curiosity to understand what really happens in the relief program and what are some of the challenges that you face in your department. Now, scaling this out outside of just doing it in one location, how would you go about per se putting a team together and replicating this in other locations?
It's very doable. That's what we're here for.
Okay.
It's our plan to keep growing. It's just having the right mindset. I think customer first approach is the main key. We gotta understand that, and it's not people that come in to buy a vehicle. The mindset is to buy a vehicle. They did the research. For the most part, we're dealing with people that are in distress, and I've been doing this for a long time, for a very long time. So a lot of people know me, know that I'm doing this not just for the money. Obviously, we all want to, make some money, but it's 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 able to help somebody and help them out together, put them in a better position. And I think that's what makes it easy for me and for my team, our team. So the sky's the limit. I really think this is going to grow and it's going to keep growing. So far, we made a big impact, and we're going to continue doing so. And I don't see why not. It's the opposite. I think it's going to be it's going to keep growing. It's going to just bigger and bigger.
As far as replicating this,
Replicate 100%.
Gotcha. And as far as like again, like go back to the challenges because just like with anything, starting a new program anywhere comes with its fair share of challenges, right? Could you talk about some of the challenges that you have faced and how did you overcome some of those challenges?
Um, for me personally, I would say that when I first came in, I came from a different store, a different brand, which I had a great relationship, and it took me some time to learn the banks and build relationship. That's one of the first things. The other thing is also working within uh, the dealer itself. We really close to each other, so we cross path a lot with with all the salespeople because we share the same database. And but I think we're coming along, and that's pretty much it. It's pretty much understanding what is that you're doing, what is that you want to accomplish, and I think we're on the same page right now. So uh, the most difficult part, I think it's just starting and with a new brand and
Gotcha. So one of the challenges was understanding the new
a
brand.
new brand and
Gotcha. I mean, these are the challenges that are going to come about as you look to scale what it is that you're putting together. And I remember when we first had a conversation a few months back, one of the things we spoke about was how are we going to perfect this and use this as a pilot?
Mhm.
No pun intended to Honda, but use this as a pilot and then grow it out to other brands, other stores, other dealerships to be able to bring this commodity that we have here
Mhm.
and roll it out to other places and have other stores benefit from this program as well. What would you say is your monthly revenue as far as the units that you're doing and how many clients are you able to assist on a monthly basis?
We averaging right now about 25 customers per month.
Okay.
We one salesperson pretty much and two other new guys, and we average 113,000 overall of over $5,300 per copy.
Gotcha.
So far. So we want to average 30 cars per month by next January or February. For the most part, I think we getting ready for that.
Okay. What are
And
some of the changes that you're looking to make within to get to that?
um, well, we were missing two people, and we will. I think there's three different sources of customers, a database that we could get from service. And at one point we were only targeting one because of the main power, but we now got the team complete, and I think we could delegate resources to whatever we need. We have the need, and I think
Gotcha.
we set it up right. We training somebody to follow up with customer, to the customer we don't see when they come in, they just drop off, and so on. So I think we have to take another step to when it comes down to the manpower. We're delegating a responsibility to three different database that we have.
A little off topic. I mean, I think that's incredible that you're obviously putting a team together to scale and to grow this department, and then hopefully we can get to a point where we can scale outwards. But on a personal level, what do you think is the number one trait of a salesperson that makes them great or good or better than the rest?
Uh, it's a couple of things, but I believe is grit. I think I mentioned that to you, especially in service. Um, and I, for some reason, I'm extremely driven. I have it clear what it is that I want to do, and be relentless. I think a lot of new generation right now, they just don't have a north. Like they don't know exactly where they want to go.
Okay.
And
But like some of us, when we were maybe younger, maybe 10, 15 years younger, we kind of lacked and faced
yeah,
some
but
new
in the
challenges.
case, that's why I mentioned great thing. I'm extremely competitive. I don't see that in everybody in the industry anymore.
Mm,
You know, like, I think that's the main thing. For me, it was never about the money. It was for me being the best that I could possibly be.
gotcha. Okay. I mean, listen, I think what you're doing here is amazing. I think you have brought a lot of value to our team here, and the reason why we're having this conversation because I just wanted to dig deep and do a dive in on trying to understand what it is that we're trying to create with the relief program and how a client that might have an issue with their vehicle or might just want to upgrade into a new vehicle, how can they reach out to you, and how can they have access to the program, and is there any incentives that you're offering to any client that is just looking to upgrade their vehicle and they reach out to you directly?
Yeah, for the most part, we're gonna give you top money for your vehicle. We're gonna overallow it like the way we said in the business, and we're gonna give it a discount on the brand new car. So
Well, what makes it different from, let's say, if they want to reach out to a traditional salesperson, why should they reach out to you specifically?
the way we get compensated,
What does it mean? Can you elaborate on that?
but for the most part, in this industry, we get paid commission. In this case, we get paid based on how many cars we sell, and we also get paid a salary. So we're not so driven by making a lot of money in any transaction. The main thing is at the end of the day, you buy the car, they're gonna send you an email. They're gonna ask you how was your experience throughout the whole process. It's my job, it's our job to earn a 10. And if we earn a 9, we fail you. So we do whatever we can because it's based on my income is based on that.
On the customer satisfaction, and that's how you're
Exactly.
satisfied. Okay.
And the amount of car that we sell. So and that's the main reason why. I mean, it's the customer first approach. It's frictionless. We straightforward, and you know we here to help.
All right. I mean, I'm going to conclude this and to just let everybody know. I want to thank Juan Arias, who's a great friend, a great colleague, and a pleasure to work with. I think we have put together a program here, which is called the Relief Program, which is mostly for clients that have issues with their current vehicle or just not happy with their current vehicle. Juan's done a great job putting together a plan and offer clients above book values on their current vehicle, a key for key exchange program on their current car. If you have a service bill, if you come service with us, we will take care of that bill for you as well. I'm assuming that's what you're doing, correct?
Yep.
And lastly, um, customer service is their number one key here. And so if you have any questions, concerns, reach out to Juan Arias directly here at Toyota Massapequa, or just Juan Arias directly on his relief page. We'll add the link on the screen now, so you guys can have any access and all access to be able to reach out to him. I want to thank you for sharing some thoughts here. Hopefully, we can have another sit down in the near future and talk some more in the future.
Sounds great, man. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.